All right, happy Wednesday. I've got a few reminders for you. One is to email me if you have questions. The private messages don't reach me very quickly, and my email address is right here, falconerl@gaylord.k12.mi.us. But do check those private messages, however, so you can see what I really liked about your poem, because you're going to be writing your poems here today. And then email me if you would be interested in having a time when you could meet face-to-face through Google Hangouts. If you are interested in that kind of video chatting, email me just so I can know what the level of interest is and if this is something that we need to set up. So today, after you've watched this video, you're going to take a look at the imagery poem notes video, and I'll give you a couple of poems. We'll take a look at imagery in those poems, and then I'll get you started on how to write your imagery poem. But I also have copies of the poem and the pictures that are in this video. So if you wanted to take a closer look at them later on, you can do that. If you can turn in your poem today, great. It's not technically due until Friday, however. And in the video, I've included some pictures to help get you started if you're not quite sure what you want to write about, but you do not have to use those pictures. It's just sometimes when we start writing, we draw a blank and we're not sure what to write about or what to describe. So you can take a look at one of those pictures and maybe think about, well, what can you see in it? What do you think you could hear in it? And use that to create your poem. All right, have a great day. Hi. We've been having some issues with YouTube, and I'm not entirely sure what the issue is with that, but just to let you know, if you pull up a video and it says video unavailable and it looks like this, if you click watch this video on YouTube, it will take you to the YouTube video. So again, click on this and it will take you to the video. It's just not popping up here in the Google Classroom. So we're back with Love That Dog. Duchess is not with me again today. She is still on strike. Apparently she's holding out for some better dog biscuits. So let's get started with April 24th. Months. It might take months for Mr. Walter D. Myers to answer my letter if he answers it. I didn't know until you explained that the letter has to go to Mr. Walter D. Myers' publisher company, and then someone at the publisher company has to sort all the mail, not just my letter, but hundreds and hundreds of letters to hundreds of authors, all that big mess of mail piled up, and someone sorting all that mail. And then the letters from Mr. Walter D. Myers go to him. And maybe he's away, maybe he's on vacation, maybe he's sick, maybe he's hiding in a room writing poems, maybe he's babysitting his children or his grandchildren if he's married and stuff, or maybe he has to go to the dentist or get that car fixed, or maybe someone died. I really, really, really hope someone did not die. So if you ask me, it could take him years to get around to answering that letter. So I guess we'd better just forget about it, not count on it, get it out of our minds, do something else, forget it. April 26th. Sometimes when you're trying not to think about something, it keeps popping back into your head. You can't help it, and you think about it, and think about it, and think about it, until your brain feels like a squashed pea. May 2nd. Yes, you can type up the thing about trying not to think about something, but you'd better leave my name off it, because it was just words coming out of my head, and I wasn't paying too much attention to which words came out when. May 7th. Maybe you could show me how to use the computer, and then I could type up my own words. May 8th. I didn't know about the spell checking thing inside the computer. It is like a miracle, little brain in there, a little helper brain. But I am a slow typer person. Did you say there's a teaching typing thing in that computer too? Will it help me type better and faster? Tap, 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 so my fingers can go as fast as my brain. So I wanted to point out a couple things that I noticed about his writing, like with tap, 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 he's got that repetition. That's actually called onomatopoeia in there, that sound. And he's got repetition in here. You think about it, and think about it, and think about it. And that kind of shows that this is going around and around in his head. And then here, we've got kind of that nervousness again, like we did yesterday, where he's worried about his letter to Mr. Walter D. Myers. And so we have repetition of maybe, 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 maybe. And then he has a list of things that could have happened, or this, or this, or this. And again, that repetition in there is purposeful to show that he's kind of nervous about hearing back from Mr. Walter D. Myers. So as you're getting ready to write your imagery poem today, there are a couple things that I just want you to keep in mind. If you're stuck for ideas, you're not sure how to start your poem, consider writing out a paragraph that describes maybe a picture, what you think you could see or smell, taste, touch, or hear, and then highlight the parts that seem maybe a little bit poetic and put them into a poem. Jack said today, yes, you can type up the thing about trying not to think about something, but he doesn't feel like it's very good. He says, you better leave my name off it because it was just words coming out of my head and I wasn't paying too much attention to which words came out when. And sometimes that's the way our poems are. It's almost like a paragraph that we turn into a poem. And remember too that you do not need to include every single type of sensory detail in your poem. It might focus more heavily on something you can see or maybe something that you can hear. You might not have something you can smell or taste in it at all, and that is okay. Sometimes it only has one or two types of sensory details. Have a great day.